Good morning now. Good morning now. Drop your pants now. Good morning.
I was going to do my good morning, and then Elliott,
We got to switch it up.
you infringed on my good morning,
No,
but then
man.
I was like, you know what? Let the boy cook.
Let the boy cook.
Why don't you just sprinkle in a little bit of pepper and
Exactly.
salt?
Exactly.
A little bit of salt, a
See,
little bit of pepper.
And see, people are expecting something, so you got to switch it up a bit.
Now, good morning. Welcome to Taps and Takes.
Good morning.
No more episodes.
Good.
I mean, like episode numbers.
Good.
If you're expecting us to
Now,
have a numeric device attached to this, no longer happening.
you can count them yourself.
No, we're just going to do clever titles. Suck on that.
What's today's title?
Monster hunting something. Because we're going to be talking a lot about Monster Hunter.
Monster hunting with a James gun.
There you go. Lots of nerd news that we got to get through on Taps and Takes, but we got business first. So if you're new here to Taps and Takes and you're wondering what the hell we're doing, well, Elliott drinks really early before Grogg's opens, Grogg's traditional Irish pub. Big shout out to Grogg's, and also keep in mind, taking over Grogg's on St. Patrick's Day. We're going to be a little bit earlier before like all of the bedlam starts. Oh,
Yeah,
you almost split that G?
Almost got it.
Almost got it. But
I was teasing the G.
we're going to be just a little.
I was almost on that G spot.
Almost.
That capital G spot.
You almost got it. So we are going to be taking over and doing Taps and Takes, kind of like a little bit of a special holiday episode for St. Patty's Day right here at Grogg's, northeast corner of Willow and Knees. Come on out. Come see us. A lot of people have been asking. They want to come and say hi and
say sup.
Say how much they love our podcast. And I agree.
True.
I love the podcast too. So,
I do. I do feel we got to work a little bit on Taps and Take, though.
What do you mean?
Show's great.
Yeah.
Show's great. You should watch and like and subscribe to everything.
Yeah.
You should do all that. I feel, though, because it drops right when we're recording do-over stuff.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a better effort of really promoting the hell out of this.
You know what it is, and we actually changed our recording day, and when we record this, typically our normal episodes of the Do Over podcast, they run as well. So like we need to be better about, promoting and talking to people when we drop the episodes and the shorts and stuff like that.
But I mean, like, we all need like the thumbnails so we can just like or edit a bunch of thumbnails, just getting
So come on, we've been doing this for like what, 2 months? We've been podcasting for a couple months now. All right, and I still have people that are like, hey, I really hope you guys do a podcast. I'm like,
Hey,
we've been doing it for like 2 months.
How about using the knuckleheads start doing some podcasting?
Yeah, we would love to.
It's clobbering time.
Anyways, so we talk about all the nerd news, all the sports news every single Friday at 8 a.m. It drops live from Grogg's. And yes, again, more details on taking over Grogg's on St. Patty's Day. That's coming up. Also, if you want all of our links, our Patreon, all that stuff, link in the bio. Go and check that out and sub to our YouTube. We're almost a partner. We're like right there.
Also,
we're like 29 away or something.
I think before we get down to business, I think we need to discuss the fat problem here.
Okay, so we have a new angle for.
We got a new Kurt angle on our cameras.
We got a new angle over here, and it's going down. And
the last couple of thumbnails have not been kind to me.
They haven't been kind to me, man.
Yours are better.
No, man.
Yours are better.
And whenever Eddie kicks out a thumbnail, it's me going like this. Oh.
Whenever, dude, I don't know how. I'm convinced he like purposely like longs my face.
Longs your face?
I think he
stretches your face.
He stretches my face out a little bit.
He stretches your face on purpose.
Yeah, I swear he does. I swear I'm becoming more and more of a horse.
Yeah.
As the series goes on.
No, man. So
just look at the last thumbnail. Do you have it on your phone? Quickly look at it and just look how long.
What, of Taps and Takes?
Yeah, of Taps and Takes. Just look at the last one.
All right,
my face gets longer and my teeth get worse. Which, no, I can't afford Invisalign.
Dude, you can't even see your teeth.
Hang on, let me see it. No, I mean, go to the actual photo, you goofy goober.
Okay.
Right.
Well, dude,
How-
dude, we don't have time
you
for
go
this.
to the tiniest YouTube on your phone. Look at that. You don't even
Hold on.
look bad. You
So-
can't even see it.
This is dropping the day before our Dungeons and Do-Overs.
Yes.
Over at Dragon's Horde. Shout out Dragon's Horde. We're going to do our first ever D&D campaign with DM Mike. Me, you, Orky, Jess, and Colleen all going to be doing a one-shot 5-person campaign live from Dragon's Horde. Now, the day after, are you ready?
Yeah, I am.
The March to Maui Diet Challenge is going to be kicking off. We're going to talk about that more on the next episode of the Do-Over podcast proper, but I just want to thank everyone for listening and the continued support. Like, we love you, and it's
Thank
just
you. Thank you.
the amount of support that we've been seeing with this is just incredible. So thank you so very much. Now,
Perfect.
with all that glazing aside,
Ooh, donuts.
no. What'd you say, donuts?
I mean, it's our last couple of days. You got to get them in.
Yeah, I had a Big Mac last night. Dude, when it comes to like sloppy food, you're like, I know this is disgusting, but it's kind of good.
Yeah.
Like my thing's like a Big Mac with extra pickles. Like, I know it's bad,
Right.
and it's not typically like that good either. But something about that damn Big Mac, dude. I'm just like, I could eat one a day.
I'm a little grosser. Lady Jams and her girlfriend were hanging out at the house, and the friend made hamburger helper.
Oh God.
I didn't notice it until like I got out there like 6 hours later.
Yeah.
Hadn't been put in the fridge. It's just still on the pan, so you can see like the grease
Oh yeah.
solidifying.
The good stuff.
And I was just like, I'm just gonna eat that.
I'm just gonna take my bread. I'm gonna dip it in
You know,
and get all that fat up on that bread.
I see that, and I kind of wanted some, so I just scooped it into my mouth.
I just got a big old spoon and I said,
The puffer fish.
that pufferfish sounder. So you posed that question, like, is that the best struggle bus food? And I was like, yeah, I think hamburger helper is
I'm
like.
between two right now, and you might not count this as a struggle food, but I count any canned soup as a struggle food.
Okay. New England clam chowder, chunky.
Chunky's chicken pot pie, hamburger helper. I think they're up there. They're right there.
I think hamburger helper, as far as like doing a full meal that you can serve to like 3 people, that and a loaf of garlic bread is like probably. And if you want to get even more fancy, some fried taters on the side,
A little couple of taters,
a couple taters,
Or,
like a baked potato or something like that.
or hot dogs chopped with a pair of scissors into your
Mac and
your
cheese.
Kraft Mac. Yeah, I feel like using the scissors that you probably use for everything,
Right.
and then just cutting
If
hot
you're
dogs. in it.
cutting hot dogs into mac and cheese, bro, go on.
If you're using a pair of scissors for it, it ratchifies the hell out of your mac and cheese.
Right. So anyways, with all that being said, I think that'll open up a bigger conversation on the next episode of the Do-Over podcast,
So, you
which
should
will
watch.
be named No Need for a Number, because we're no longer numbering the episodes. It's just going to be
Good.
dropped. You know, it's so funny that people are asking, they're like, so are you guys doing this all yourself? We're like, yeah, we are.
We really are. And we still don't know what we're doing half the time.
No,
Not
but
one
it's
bit.
getting gradually better here and there,
No, I
even
think
though
so.
we've taken 10 minutes to get into our nerd news.
I think that's okay. I think there's a little life before we get right into it.
There is life, and you got to get all up with the Guinness too. So
Nar. You know, we'll get to it. It's here.
now, Elliot,
Yes.
give me some nerd news.
All right.
So let me tell you about Andor season 2. I'm just
Well,
kidding.
people are excited for it.
Did you watch? You didn't watch Andor, huh?
Dude, I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm not too into the Star Wars cinematic universe.
Okay.
First of all, I'm so over that term. I'm sick of it.
You don't like
so
the cinematic universe?
I bleeping hate that term because everybody wants to do it now. All right.
Well, yeah.
The what is it? Magic the Gathering cinematic
Yeah.
universe.
Yeah.
D&D cinematic. No, it's just D&D.
The thing is that
It's magic.
cinematic universes are all built on the success, or at least planning of the success of the first movie. Like, for example, if Iron Man bombed,
If Iron Man sucked,
and bombed, we would have not gotten the amazing 10-year run of Marvel. Like, we wouldn't have gotten it.
no.
Because they would have been like, oh, there's no point. But now, because they did it, everyone else wants to emulate that success. And I understand their businesses,
Look,
they want money.
I totally get it. And we're about to go over the DCU's plan coming up in a bit, which I'm excited for. But
I'd rather have an organic kind of, hey, we made this movie's great. Now we made a sequel, and it's even better. A lot of people like these characters, so let's do an overall expanding story and tell these other character story, and then they can come back for another. Like, organically do it. People are planning on doing it, and I think that's kind of the problem.
No, you know what I think? I think just find a different name. You know who has a great name for their technically cinematic universe? Matt Reeves. He just called it Batman's Epic Crime Saga.
That's what he calls it?
That's what he calls it. And you know what? That sounds awesome.
So do you think they're going to do Pat Bat as the main Batman?
I know they're not, because that's one of my stories.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to the stories.
There's a ton of DCU news, all right? Starting with Pat Bat is officially out for Batman the Brave and the Bold and the DCU's Batman. Pat Bat is still going to be Matt Reeves' Batman, but he said, we need a Batman. We need to get Brave and the Bold moving, and it is imperative that we get our Batman correct for the style we want to play for the DCU.
Right.
I want Alan Richardson.
Do you think they do?
Because
do they take a no-name? Do they do like a no-name, not as well-known actor?
I wouldn't.
Because they did that with Superman. Not everyone knew that guy.
But
I still don't know his name.
My thing is, so did you watch Creature Commandos?
No.
Okay. Light spoiler. They show
Batman. Yeah.
He doesn't have a line.
David Cornswet is the guy who's playing Superman.
And I'm very excited for...
I don't know who the fuck this guy is.
I'm very excited for Superman.
Right.
I'm super hyped
I mean, like me too. He's 31 years old, so he can play the part for another 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Granted, but I don't know.
And I think he looks like Clark Kent. He looks like Superman.
Yeah, even though they went like kind of brain rot on his hair. You know what I mean?
That's fine.
It's the times.
He's got the Riz.
Yeah.
All right?
He's got the Riz.
He's got that Clark Kent Riz.
He's gonna punch Lex Luthor for real on God.
No, he's just gonna like backhand his ass, and they're gonna show him like flip through 3 different buildings. That'd be sick.
What if he like comes up? He's like, "Yeah, I was gooning last night, and I shot through the wall."
He picks up Lois. You got me edging for real. She's like, "You're such a gooner." My love story. My love story right there. No, but I mean, like, they showed Batman kind of like looking over Dr. Phosphorus.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they made him look like a beefier, stockier Batman.
Yeah.
Which would make Jack Reacher playing him fantastic. Make Alan Richardson. He's already talked about wanting to be Batman. He's at his highest popularity he's been since Blue Mountain State.
He's great. And apparently he's just the nicest guy in the world.
Oh, for sure.
He's like super, super, super nice to everyone. And I like stories about actors like that in real life, like
Same.
Keanu Reeves, and there's a plethora of them. But I hear like these actors that are so unbelievably kind to everyone, that appreciate their success. I'm like, those are the kinds of people that we should be putting in these roles.
Make Walt Goggins Two-Face.
That would be dope.
That would be cool.
That would be super
I don't know
sick.
if it fits or not, but get Walt Goggins in there.
Just put Walt Goggins in something.
In anything.
Yeah.
And it's going to be
I would
good.
support it because I love Walt Goggins.
Samesies. I'm watching White Lotus right now. He's fantastic.
So Sarah's watching that. She's trying to get me on it. Do you think it's any good?
If you're going to watch a season, watch this season because it has Walt Goggins.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's why and I'm pretty sure he's a hitman. I'm pretty sure.
But you don't know.
Don't know yet. Pretty sure he's a hitman.
Well, that would check out.
All right. Well, go into your story, and then we'll go back and forth rapid fire.
So I got a few here, and the big conversation at the end here is going to be about Monster Hunter because, if you're familiar with the old radio show, there is no surprise that I am a huge Monster Hunter fan.
Oh, yeah.
The reviews for Monster Hunter Wilds came out. I even got a new PC thanks to you all and Sarah, and I got a new PC specifically for this game.
Yes.
And the reviews came out, so we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But Andor Season 2, now this is actually backing up to some of the rumor news, not confirmed, rumor news that you sent me last night from Puck, which is this, I guess, entertainment spoiler dropper dude. Anyways, or website. The guy is Matt something, I think. But they are speculating that Kathleen Kennedy is stepping down as the president of Lucasfilm starting at the end of this year.
And we all rejoiced.
And everyone was like, why wait? Do it now. And they need to find a good successor. Now, I'm going to be fair. You know,
fair.
I need to be fair. I need to be fair because Kathleen Kennedy has given us some good things. Okay? Force Awakens was good, even though it was kind of a rehash of A New Hope. But they made that with no plan. But she did give us Andor Season 1, Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew was good.
I thought Ahsoka was great, even though that's mainly Filoni. But she was the one that was approving all these projects. But let's talk about the bad. She has played fast and loose with the Star Wars mythos.
Mm-hmm.
She has basically announced so many projects that all end up inevitably getting canceled. Star Wars has not had a proper movie in fucking years. They've just bungled kind of these projects by putting look, don't take this the wrong way, okay? Because art's better when it says something. Okay? Yes, I agree with that. You need to have some emotion and some kind of analogy of some kind. You need to say something in stories for us to care about these stories and these characters. Sure. But when you get super idealistic people that are making projects and they're taking it as an opportunity to stronghold and force feed their ideology, whether you agree with it or not, is just always a bad thing.
Absolutely.
It's just a bad thing.
Yeah.
And again, I'm all for like women equality. I'm a father of 2 little girls.
Well, and I'm all for having a theme of a movie.
Yes. When you force feed that to where the message is overtaking the integrity of the project, it just turns out to be a bad project.
And when it also botches the development of characters.
Yeah.
It almost does more damage to the character for it.
Now, to be fair, I do firmly believe that a lot of Star Wars fans just will never be happy.
Fair.
I think that they just, anything that's not the original trilogy is just going to always fall short. And I fight with that. Like, there's those people. But I love, like, the mythos of Star Wars and cool Jedi and history and all that stuff. But, like, the handling of all this has been piss poor. And this has been under her watch.
Oh, yeah.
This has been under her watch. The idea of making what is arguably the biggest trilogy in history when you started making new Star Wars films and not having a cohesive story and plan was the dumbest fucking thing you can do. And from then, it's just been like more miss than hit. I would say 30% of what she's done has been amazing. 70% has been absolutely horrible.
The second you botch Obi-Wan, you should go.
Yeah, and
you should step down. Obi-Wan's the easiest character to like and to make a good story.
Obi-Wan was bad.
It was
now
horrible.
Skeleton Crew was amazing.
Yeah.
I think Skeleton Crew, Ahsoka, Mando. She also gave us Mandalorian season 1 and 2. 3 bad, but season 1 and 2 was great. And it's like she has given us good things, but 70% of it has been horrible.
Well, in my thing, because I didn't go into much of the shows, Obi-Wan disappointed the hell out of me, which it was so easy. See what you did with Logan? Just do that with Obi-Wan. And
Simple.
You've got an easy win.
And
easiest win.
And they've taken an opportunity to try to mess with the formula of Star Wars, which I'm okay about. The formula kind of evolving and getting more mature. And certainly, I'm all for that. But I think that the risks that they are taking are the wrong ones. So her leaving and having real leadership there, it's going to be able to tell a cohesive story. The whole, like, High Republic, when they announced it, had so much potential, but then turned out to just fall flat. Like, they need to think about how to make it compelling again for people of all ages and old fans. And a lot of Star Wars fans really boils down to this. They want the people making these projects to have respect for the original mythos.
Oh, yeah.
They want them to have respect for the original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
They want them to have respect for George Lucas and not just on everything that he did. And a lot of these directors have come out and basically blah, 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 and said very controversial that was like, okay, but you're making Star Wars. You're not making this indie film that has like a really deep social story to tell.
No.
You're making a Star Wars movie, and you need to do it well,
And
right?
You know what would have been the best social message you could have put in a Star Wars movie that still would have been awesome? Finn starting a stormtrooper rebellion.
Yeah.
Leading the rebellion with an Anakin lightsaber.
Or Finn dying when he was going to sacrifice himself
It drives me up a
to
wall.
make it impactful.
John Boyega was my favorite actor in those movies.
Yeah.
I thought Finn was such a cool character. And in the first movie he's in, when they give him the lightsaber, I'm like, dude, this is awesome. A former stormtrooper taking on the New Order. That is such a cool concept. They give him half of a duel, and he loses. Fine.
Just gets body. But that makes sense.
But also, he's never used a lightsaber, so that's
Right.
totally fine. But then they never, address it ever again. And then he tries to... Then they're like, hey, go on this mission that has nothing to do with anything at a casino.
Yeah.
And then on top of all that, I'm going to sacrifice myself going Mach 500 in a speeder, and he gets T-boned.
Yeah.
And he's like, why would you do that? And she's like, "Aw,
Yeah.
what are we talking about?"
And then everyone's bitching about cutting that character out. Like, oh, why would you cut Rose? Because Rose was useless.
She was a nothing burger.
She was a nothing burger. So she got cut out. So my whole point is...
And then he tried to do it again in the third
Yeah.
movie. And they didn't let him do it again.
Dude, the oversight at Lucasfilm needs to change. They need someone that has love and respect for this, but also is skilled in making cinema, that's skilled in telling stories to oversee these things so they make sure that it's done right. So that's incredible news. But with that, Andor. Have you seen Andor?
I have not.
Okay, so Andor is like an elevated version of a Star Wars property.
Right.
Okay. Sarah watched the first 4 episodes of Andor with me, and then kind of fell off.
And then you just went.
Yeah,
went
just went
power
back.
through.
But Andor is excellent. It is probably one of the best things that Star Wars has done in the past 20 years. You know what I mean? It's it's that good. And you would think that with the absence of Force users and stuff like that, it could be bland, but it's kind of about the birth of the rebellion in the first place.
It's like a good espionage kind of show.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like an HBO version of kind of like a Star Wars property, right? It is so good. And season 2, the trailer just dropped. More of the good.
Yep.
So
They're going to be dropping that 3 episodes a week. The first
are
3,
they doing 3 a week?
The first 3, the second 3, and the third, and it's going to take over a 4-year period. The first 3 episodes 1 year, the second 2, 3, so on.
I'm kind of excited for this to come back to show people that you can do elevated versions of Star Wars properties and make them good. So what else you got?
Okay, we got probably the biggest internet beef right now in nerd news, and that is Avatar: The Last Airbender. So Avatar is getting a new series. Avatar 7 Havens, which is set to be a 2-season special, total of 26 episodes. They'll do 13 episodes a season. The original showrunners are going to be producing that. Nickelodeon Studios is going to be going through it. Now, the story is actually very interesting, which, I mean, The Last Airbender was an incredible, it was a perfect show.
Oh, no, that was a great show. What did you think about Korra? Because I thought Korra was cool how they aged him up and kind of showed more of the world being more modern.
So I only got through the first 2 seasons, and I kind of fell off.
And she was all about scissoring. She was a lesbian.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm all down for chicks kissing Elliott. Just
Sure.
always,
Hey, look.
Avatar.
Love who you love, right? I don't care about that. But the show,
Scissor me timber.
7 Havens. So the series follows an Earthbender, the next Earthbender, the next Avatar after Korra, and the world is basically falling apart.
Okay.
Because of the aftermath of Korra. And so it is about a girl becoming the new Avatar. She's an Earthbender Avatar. And so her and her long-lost twin brother are set to save the world, although the world sees the Avatar as the world's destroyer rather than savior.
So she's the Avatar? Or do you think they're going to have some twin shenanigans going on?
No, I think what it's going to be is she's going to be the Avatar. And at first, he's going to be gung-ho about helping her, and then he's going to become the main baddie at the end.
He's going to be the
He's
going to
be the jealous. He's going to be I should have been the Avatar.
I like that.
Yeah, that's what I think's going to happen.
That's the headcanon right now.
Right.
I'm digging that.
Right. But so this has sparked an internet war because Aang defenders and Korra defenders are like, Aang stopped a war within a year, found world peace for like 39 years, and learned the elements within the year and defeated the Fire Lord, right? Whereas like Korra set up the spirit world to open up and then become part of the disaster that is the world that is now.
Right.
And a lot of her things she could have done. She could have avoided a lot of her problems if she just listened to like her friends and counsel around her, but she just did things her own way. And that's what people have a problem with Korra with.
Because she just didn't listen to anyone?
She didn't listen.
She just did it herself.
Right.
I'm going to do it my way.
But naturally, when you have a female protagonist, everybody who defends her is like, you're just a misogynist. And they're like, no, she's just a bad avatar.
Yeah. No, we're not a misogynist. She's making the wrong decision.
Right.
Yeah.
But so that has led to like Korra haters just like licking their chops and Korra defenders fighting for their life.
So you're talking about adult men and women fighting on the internet over cartoons that were arguably made for children about integrity in the story of a cartoon. I love the internet.
Well, look, the problem with Korra.
Sorry, Sarah.
The problem with Korra is that it had to come after The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
And The Last Airbender might be one of the best cartoons of all time.
Oh, of all time. No, that's an easy speculation. Yeah.
Okay. It's top. It's Mount Crushmore for sure.
Yeah, that's an easy speculation. And to follow up after that is such a hard task.
You were already kind of doomed.
But I do think Korra found its own kind of way. You know, like I do think Korra
I think it had
found its own audience, its own way.
I think I think it had its moments for sure. There were some like lack of character development. And when you have a character that doesn't develop, you lose your audience really fast.
Yeah, because again, you have to care about the people.
What we're just talking about, man.
Now, Elliott.
Yes.
What else you got?
Okay, a little more on the Gunniverse. The Gunniverse.
Bam, bam.
So James Gunn dropped essentially like a ton of DCU news, starting with they want to do a 6-year plan of 2 featured films, an animated film, I believe it's 1 television show, and then 2 animated shows a year for 6 years.
That's a lot of content.
That is a lot. However, James Gunn will not be greenlighting anything unless he doesn't approve of it.
He does approve of it.
So, I mean, like, I think they're in good hands. Clayface, for example, that's going to be set November 11th of 2026.
They're doing a Clayface movie?
They're doing a Clayface movie in the DCU.
Do we need a Clayface movie?
Hang on. Because I was the same way.
Wow.
They're making it rated R.
Okay.
And they're making it a body horror and blood horror movie.
Okay, see, like I don't care to watch that.
I kind of do. Because
I do not.
Clayface is such a cool character because he was like the star actor who tried to stay relevant. So like an aging actor.
I'll never forget those episodes of the animated series when they were pouring it on him. He's like,
but just think of like how grotesque that was as a kid when the animated series.
Yeah, it was dark. Dude.
Now think of it in an R-rated live action. It's gonna be mental.
Out of all of the horror, what I hate the most is body horror.
Right.
I hate like weird body. Like, ugh.
And it makes, and like, at first, people were like, well, why don't you put it in, like, Matt Reeves' Crime Saga? And they were like, well, we've already introduced Clayface in Creature Commandos. Light spoiler, sorry. It's been out for a couple of months now.
Yeah.
You can just deal with it. So they were like, he's such a James Gunn character. Like, I want my hands in on this. I want to make this. And so I'm in. I think you should be all in on James Gunn. He hasn't done wrong at least too severely yet.
No. James Gunn, I believe he's going to make the right choices for the DC cinematic universe. I'll give you that. But also, and I think he's down to earth enough to be able to check himself enough that he's not getting high on his own supply. And that's largely maybe why he has a partner to kind of check him as well. But if you announce a body horror R-rated Clayface movie, that to me tells me that you are getting kind of high on your own supply a little bit. Like, I'm sure it's going to be great. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, it's like that is such a niche crowd of people like horror, but then people that are into like hardcore body horror. It's a niche crowd. And
I mean, but look at Saw, though. That's the most body horror movie of all time.
Yes, but like,
and those did really well.
But the reason why the first Saw was such a success was because of the The mystery and like the puzzle nature of it was great. Every single subsequent Saw movie after that kind of lost that.
A little bit.
The first Saw movie was revolutionary in the way it was presented because it was very clever. Then it just turned into a body horror fest of without any reason, right? So, look, again, James Gunn is the man. I'm sure he's going to crush it, and I'm all in on what he's doing, just like you. I can't wait to see Superman.
Can't wait.
I think it's going to be awesome. I think he's going to do a great tonal set for everything. I think he's going to do great. I just think that like some things we need and some things we don't know we need, and then some things we don't need. And I just don't know if that is something that we need.
Let's judge it by the trailer.
Okay.
Let's judge it by the trailer when it comes out.
We'll judge it by the trailer and see what it looks like, and then we'll give our thoughts. Is that all you got?
That's all. Amazon officially has creative control over James Bond.
James Bond, that's a big deal. And
yeah.
A lot of people are still trying to get Henry Cavill as James Bond.
It's all they want.
It's all they want.
It's all they've ever wanted.
And you know what? I'm all for it.
And then my last little thing, I saw this late last night. Dave Bautista is trying to find a way to get the Gears of War movie
He's still trying.
Rolling on Netflix.
Still trying, huh?
Hitting up
him and Terry Crews? Who was it? It was him and Terry Crews, right?
It was him and Terry Crews. He wants to play Marcus Phoenix, which he absolutely should.
Oh, he would be a... It's like a 1-to-1, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
and then Terry Crews playing Coltrane.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I want this movie bad.
I don't need it, but I would watch it like if it came out.
I mean, it makes sense, though, because you're getting Gears of War brought back. You're getting the prequel. Just make a movie. Make a Netflix movie, even if it's kind of janky. Just make it.
A Netflix movie, yes. Like, I would say yes. Give me Netflix. Don't give me a big AAA, like, summer blockbuster. Give me a Netflix.
Give me a Netflix.
Give me Netflix.
Give me Netflix.
So, we're going to end on this as far as the nerd news is concerned. Monster Hunter. Teased in the beginning, I got a new giant rig for this game. I've been hyped since they announced it. It was actually kind of a quick announcement turnaround. They announced it around this time last year. Showed some stuff during the summer.
Yep.
Did an open beta. Did a second open beta. It's coming out.
Bunch of betas.
When this is airing, it's out.
Oh.
Okay. I am pumped. I watched all day every single review that has come out because a bunch of people got, early play test access to it. Here's the synopsis of what everyone is saying. It's fun. It streamlines a lot of stuff. However, it's an incredibly easy Monster Hunter. Like maybe the easiest of all of them. And it's not optimized that well for PC. Like it's fine. If you have a really beefy rig, you'll be able to run it beautifully.
Okay.
But there are little bugs and glitches here. You'll probably need a day one patch.
Yeah.
They're going to be releasing a 4K texture pack alongside it when it launches, so that's great. But it is not that well optimized. And this is common for Monster Hunter. Like Monster Hunter World wasn't that well optimized for PC when it dropped, and Iceborne as well, the expansion. But here's a crazy fact if you did not know. Now, Capcom makes Monster Hunter.
Yes.
Monster Hunter World and Iceborne is the most successful game that Capcom has ever made. And you got to understand, these guys make heavy hitters like Mega Man and Street Fighter and all these Resident Evil, but still Monster Hunter sold 26.8 million copies worldwide. Monster Hunter World is the best-selling Capcom game in history. And there's a reason. It's because the gameplay loop of Monster Hunter is brilliant and it brings you in. Now, there's two different types, okay? There's like a survival hunting simulator, and then there's like a boss rush version of Monster Hunter. They kind of go back and forth, and like both of the style of genre of Monster Hunter films, of properties, kind of blend in with each other because it was mainly a portable game for the longest time. Then started coming out on consoles. I love Monster Hunter because you go and you kill monsters. You start really weak. There's no levels. You just kind of do it through gear. You kill monsters like these big beasts. You harvest their parts, and you form new gear, new weapons to make you more powerful. Then you go take on more powerful monsters. The gameplay loop has been cracked to a point of like you just want to keep on hunting. You want to keep on going. And these are like 1,000+ hour games. It's the grind. And I'm not like a grindy guy. I don't like to grind.
You
but
don't like grinder?
I'm not a grinder.
You're not a grinder?
No. I swipe left. What is it, right? I swipe right on Grinder.
That means you like them.
Okay. I swipe left on Grinder.
Mm.
I don't have a Grinder account.
You don't grind.
I don't have a Grinder account.
I might bump, but I don't grind.
No. But like I'm not like a grindy video game player, but like I do with Monster Hunter because it's so fun.
Right.
It's a fun game, right? The challenge of Monster Hunter is one of the things that makes it great. Because you will get what they call carded. You'll faint, you'll pass out, you have to go, you get like a few tries. Some of the missions will be like if you faint or pass out more than 3 times, you fail.
Okay.
And you'll have like a time limit.
Right.
They're saying like most hunts, they're done in like 7 minutes.
That's kind of boring.
Yeah. I mean, but see, here's the thing. It's good for accessibility.
Right. Like if you want to get the next generation of players, I get that.
Like I would say for you, because the thing about Monster Hunter is the last 20 years, they have built so many systems on systems, you know, how things work. And they've been really trying to condense it and streamline it to make it accessible for other people. World and Rise, the last one, being the 2 most probably accessible Monster Hunters for anyone trying to play. This is almost too easy, is what everyone's saying. And in efforts to make it more accessible to new players and maybe younger players that are learning how to play, to make it more accessible, they're taking some of that the difficulty away. And that is one of the things that makes Monster Hunter Monster Hunter.
And it doesn't have like a difficulty setting? Okay, that's kind of a...
No.
I feel like you should.
Yeah.
Like if you get to at least the final monster. Or
like you'll get to what they call DPS check monsters, where it's like you, no matter what you do, you're just not doing enough damage. And it tells you, without telling you, you need to go farm higher end gear and come back and try again. Right. And that happened a few times during my playthrough of World and Iceborne. Like you get to a point where like you cannot continue unless you go farm better gear. But that's what Monster Hunter is. And I'm afraid, and I'm sure with like updates and new monsters and stuff like that,
they'll make it tougher as the game goes on.
And there'll be higher end monsters and what they call G rank or monster or master rank, which is like the highest rank. But a lot of the mechanics of how it works is just not explained. But that's Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter.
Like it takes time to learn how to do this correctly. And I'm still stoked. Like the overall consensus from everyone, it's still a great game. It's awesome. It's fun as they streamlined the right things. The new map's amazing. Like you have a mount so you can like swap weapons on the go. It kind of encourages you to do different weapons.
Right, try different things. So it is a good jumping in point for a lot of new players. And that's going to be ultimately good. And then maybe they'll drop like an expansion with a higher difficulty for you to go through it, much like an Elden Ring or something like that. But there has to be a bigger conversation about making things just too easy for noobs, or like, you know what I mean? Like when you fall in love with the difficulty, it's like Elden Ring. Elden Ring is arguably the easiest FromSoft game ever. And a lot of people are like, no, it's not. I'm not good at it.
Look,
by any means.
The way you build out your character, if you're doing magic, you could go through it. It's like, it is probably easier than like Dark Souls 1 and 2 and all these games and Bloodborne. It is arguably easier because of you can make it as easy as you want it to, right? But when you have a legion of fans that fall in love with the difficulty of something, and then you dumb it down for everyone, it kind of insults your main player base. Like I'm telling you, Elliott, every single review, there's not one of them that was either pandering or like, I had difficulty here. Every single one. This is by far the easiest Monster Hunter, and that's kind of disappointing.
I get you, but it also, at the end of the day, you need to get brand loyalty from a young age. So this is probably them getting the next generation of Monster Hunters.
Yeah,
probably. And the old ones are probably aging out of video games or close to.
I'm like, what are you saying?
I'm not saying anything.
Are you saying I'm old?
I'm not saying you're
old.
Are you
saying I'm an old man?
I'm not saying. You're going to play Monster Hunters until you're 80.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So, with that, all the nerd news said and done, we're going to take a little break. We'll be right back with sports, baby. Big shout out to Grogg's Traditional Irish Pub, found right there on the northeast corner of Willow and Nees. Go by, tell them that the Do-Over sent you, drink some Guinness, take a shot at JMO, get that pickle back like Jess did this episode. Yeesh. But literally, they're the absolute best. I love Grogg's. And remember, St. Patty's Day is coming up. Get ready. All right, bye.
So did she call you to apologize about the butt dial? She butt dialed you to call you about the butt dial?
She's so sweet. She's one of my clients' moms. She's
Shout out,
so
Jace.
sweet. A friend of the client's mom. She's
Don't
the nicest
interrupt
lady.
us ever again.
No, sorry. We're doing taps and takes.
Shout out Grogg's.
Shout out Grogg's.
Grogg's.
Traditional Irish Pub. We're taking over St. Patty's Day. We're going to be here from probably 10 to noon. So
Yeah, something like that.
come on down
Don't
here.
worry about when we're here.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. I mean, hopefully you get your fake illness ready so you can come on in and party with us. Do Over Podcast doing our thing.
Do over.
What?
Yeah, Monday.
Did I say it wrong?
No, you didn't.
Oh, okay. I was just making
no,
sure. I was
you're
like,
good.
oh, did I?
You got joiced.
I got joiced.
You got joiced.
I got joiced.
You just got joiced. Send this to 10 of your friends or else they get joiced.
So, Elliott,
Yeah.
what's up with the sports?
I'll tell you what's going on with sports.
Sports.
A lot of basketball stuff. But we're going to start with the NFL because there is a report that an anonymous NFL team has proposed a ban on the, quote, tush push play.
What?
So NFL owners could...
Can you explain first, what is a tush push for everyone else that doesn't? I mean, I know.
Okay, so
but like everyone else that doesn't know because they don't know sports, why don't you explain to them?
Well, I mean, if they're watching taps and takes, they probably follow sports. But anyway, the tush push is the infamous QB sneak the Philadelphia Eagles have used to dominate teams at the 1-yard line or on fourth and very, very short, where Jalen Hurts gets under center, and then you essentially get two players to push him forward in front of the most unstoppable offensive line in the NFL.
Okay, so he is basically the meat in the sandwich, and they push him through the bread.
Right.
Is that
Yeah, sure. To
Okay.
get a first down or a touchdown. And it has been essentially unstoppable since Jalen Hurts has been a quarterback for the Eagles. Now, a lot of people hate this play
why?
because it's so unstoppable.
So what?
Hang on. We're getting there. However, when you watch other teams try it, like the Buffalo Bills, and it fails miserably, is it just a bad play? Or is it you can't stop this one iteration of it? Well,
Right.
that's how I lean. Get good, essentially.
Yeah, get good.
Right. Well, this anonymous NFL team has proposed a ban on the tush push. NFL owners could vote on the proposal next month at the annual league meeting in Palm Beach, Florida, unless the team decides to withdraw its proposal. If the proposal goes to a vote, 24 of the 32 owners would have to vote in favor of it to pass.
Yeah, but if it's legal now, why I understand they're trying to make it illegal because it's effective for a singular team. But
that, and some people think it's just not like a good-looking play. It makes
So what?
football look boring. Well,
so what?
football's all about ratings, baby.
Well, and football is also about scoring.
True
And
that.
if you're scoring and it's going to, you know what else sells, unfortunately, in this day and age of the internet, which is stupid, but it does. Controversy. Discourse. Discourse sells. It gets people talking.
Yeah.
So the fact that I look at this and trust me, it'll come full circle. It's almost like a Drake thing. You know how like Drake's playing into this whole Kendrick thing, but also his legal team's trying to sue the record label. And it's kind of like, okay, dude, that's a bitch-made move. Like, you look like a bitch if you're doing that.
Did you hear his Spanish song? I want to meet your madre. Get permission from your padre, mi amor. You haven't heard that? Dude, you gotta check it out.
What the
It's so funny.
So
He's just accepted. I think he's accepted. I'm just gonna be a goober.
my whole thing in this is like, you're coming off as a bitch. You're coming off like a bitch. If you're like, this team's beating us with this.
Yeah.
No, we need to make it illegal. Like,
You know, even
you
know what's
do.
no, I absolutely agree. I don't think the ban will pass. I don't think they'll get 24 votes. You know what the worst thing is? The reports are saying that it was the Packers that did it.
Really?
And part of me is like, guys, where's your sense of pride? We were the best defense against the Eagles in the playoffs.
Right.
We held them to 22 points, and our quarterback threw 3 interceptions.
Yeah, no,
And we had a fumble on the first play. We probably should have beat the Eagles.
No, it's
So, Packers, come on now.
it's a bitch move.
I don't like it either. Right, next, going to the NBA. Because it is NBA season. The All-Star break is done. We're getting to that playoff push.
Yeah, one of our listeners was like, man, when you guys were talking about the NBA, I was doing Jess face like this.
I mean, it's just, it's the NBA. You know what? The NBA season's going on. And I think there's a lot of discourse about the NBA right now.
Why?
Because I think a lot of people think that because the ratings are down, that it's bad play going on right now, and there's a lot of either you're hurt or the players don't seem to care as much. But you know what? I'm going to be on the side of the NBA today.
What?
I'm going to be optimistic about the NBA. You know why?
Why?
Because I think there's good stuff coming. I think Luka now being on the Lakers, I think there's some excitement. The Warriors are now 5-1 in the last 6 games with Jimmy Butler. So I think two of the teams people like to root for with Steph Curry and LeBron being good is good for the NBA. So I'm going to be positive today. But we do have some negatives to go over, like Joel Embiid. So Joel Embiid, who is incredibly talented but incredibly injury prone all the time. Like all the time. Well, he's been dealing with an injury all season. He's played 19 games out of the 57 games so far this season.
Wow.
And is just now dealing with a left knee problem. He didn't play against the Bulls the other night, and they got blown out by the Bulls, who are not good in their own right. So now the 76ers are deciding what to do with him for the season. They're currently 12th in the East. Shut him down. Shut him down for the season. There's no reason why you should be trying to rush him back to get to the 8th seed to play the Boston Celtics and then get floored in the first round.
Right.
Just consider the season a loss. Paul George has been dealing with injuries too. Just wrap it up. Let your young players get some play and just set up for next year. And if I'm the 76ers, because you have them under contract until 28-29 season, I'm looking for trade options.
Really?
I don't see how you...
Is he injured because they rely on him too much?
It might be that, but he's a 7-footer. He's a heavy 7-footer, and the way he plays is just, he's a bumper. He's a post-up player, and he's also a great shooter. So he's just injury prone, and he's had a ton of injuries in the past. He's going to have a ton of injuries now. He's 30. He's about to be 31. He's about to be a really expensive injury-prone player.
Yeah.
I think you look for the next options in the next wave of 76ers. That's what I would do, at least.
You did send me a story that kind of got my conspiracy hat tingling. My antenna is going like this.
So is it the Mavs one?
Yeah. That's
hang
crazy.
On. No,
I didn't believe you when you first said it, but then I was yeah.
You were right to not believe me because there's 2 I got.
Did you get got?
I got. Yeah. So there's 2 Twitter handles. There's NBA Central and there's NBA Central.
Oh God.
Central is like the meme
version.
It's like the meme version of Central.
Okay.
And so many people, not just me, Colin Coward on the Herd, FS1 host, also got on the same story.
No way.
So I'm in good company.
So
okay?
Explain what the story was.
So the story was,
and when he sent it, I was like, oh.
Like it's kind of it makes sense.
It would make sense if it was real, yeah.
So the story was
first explain the conspiracy. Okay, we're gonna do this in okay. Explain the conspiracy about the Luka trade.
Okay, so I have a conspiracy, and I've seen conspiracies about this because the owners of the Dallas Mavs, once they bought out Mark Cuban, are casino tycoons, right?
Yeah.
And so they want to have like a casino mega betting center in Dallas. Texas doesn't allow it, or I believe Dallas doesn't allow it. I think it's all of Texas. I'm positive it's not Dallas.
I think they have Native American reserves like we do in Texas.
So the conspiracy theory is they traded Luka away, and they're trying to tank the Mavs in order to get fans to turn against them, so then they can say, oh, we don't have enough fan support. We need to find a new market that will support us.
Right.
One city that kind of did the same thing or kind of got the same thing, is Las Vegas. They did the same thing with the A's. John Fisher got
Oakland,
the fans, the Athletics now. So stupid. But he flipped the script, got the fans to quote unquote betray the team,
right,
and set up to where the fans hate him, hate the team, overcharge everything to where he had a right to move.
Now, if you know shows past, if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for being here. But if you're new here, I used to bust Elliott's balls about this all the time. I'd be like, well, the team needs to back him. They need to give benefits to even having the team there. And if the fans aren't showing up, what the fuck? And Elliott would always be like, dude, he's tanking him on purpose. The owner's tanking him on purpose.
So they
can take him to Vegas.
Tripling the price of concessions.
Yes.
And shutting off parts of the stadium to where fans can't even buy tickets to sit there.
Right.
So they can say it wasn't a sellout. It's all...
It's all going into place. So,
yeah. So now they're saying, so the conspiracy theory was the owners are trying to get the Mavs to move to Vegas so they can get their casino mega center.
Their casino center around. So it would be like casino, NBA arena. Right.
Now, one of the fake stories that I fell for was because the Luka trade was so huge and fans are still mad to this day.
Pissed.
As Luka and the Lakers take on the Mavs this week, the story was that the Mavs would escort people out if they were wearing Luka jerseys.
Yeah, like they were going to ban Luka's jersey for being worn. And my first response was, can they even legally do that? Like, can they even legally do that?
And, like, my thought was they probably could. Like, it's a private
they own
company.
it.
Yeah, so they could. But I thought, like, dude, they're probably getting so much hate, and their GM is probably getting so many, like, death threats about this.
Yeah.
It would make sense in my head. And then when I posted it and talked about it, I noticed it, and then somebody else hit me up with it, and I read it, and I said, oh, damn it.
Oh, I got sent.
And that's where they go, you got sent out.
Yeah.
And I got sent out, and I'm so bummed about it.
But see, the funny thing is that it was a believable troll.
It is such a believable story.
If it was real, then I would have agreed with you. I'd have been like, oh, yeah, they're trying to tank the team. Like, they're trying to piss off fans.
A part of me still kind of feels like they are.
Yeah.
Because just like the 76ers, Anthony Davis, an incredible big man, one of the best big men in the league, 31, but he's gone through injuries, and he's injured right now. And it's like you traded Luka Doncic, who just took the Mavs to the finals.
Right.
Was the only reason they really got to the finals, through the West, mind you, and was the only reason why the Mavs somewhat put up a fight in those games.
Right.
He's 25, so he's in his...
He has a lot more years.
He's got the next decade to be great.
Right.
Anthony Davis maybe has like 4, maybe 3 years of great, but who knows because he's always injured. Kyrie Irving, also injury-prone. Klay Thompson, not the player he used to be. It just feels like, sure, on paper, this is a well-constructed team when they're all on the court. And if they're never all on the court, what are we talking about?
What are we even doing here?
Exactly. Just one last little story in the NBA. I want to talk about the San Antonio Spurs because young team set up for the future. Victor Wembanyama, one of the best upcoming stars, French player, 7-footer, can do essentially everything. He is out for the season with a blood clot found in his right shoulder.
Ooh.
Good news. It is not like threatening in any way.
Yeah.
He's out for the season just for precaution, and it won't affect him missing any time next season. And the passing of the torch will probably be coming up this year because Greg Popovich, the legendary NBA coach who's been coaching them since the 90s.
Yeah. He's been around for a long time.
97 was his first season.
Yeah.
5 championships with the Spurs. An incredible run. He suffered a mild stroke back in November, so they're speculating this will be his last season as the Spurs head coach, which is sad because he's been such an incredible coach and an icon in the NBA for like 30-plus years, but it is now the beginning of the end, and the Spurs are moving on to the next chapter.
I'll drink to that, Elliott.
Cheers.
Thank you once again for joining us for Taps and Takes. There you go, doggy. I like to see that.
Oh, right. Got another pack.
Here. Okay.
Good catch. catch.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to pull any big ones here.
Says you.
All right.
Watch we get like Jason Giambi, but like the year after when he sucked.
Okay. So there's. So
Okay.
we got some Topps cards here.
Okay. Show the camera. Show the camera.
Okay. We got John Smoltz,
Ooh.
Charlie Hayes,
What teams? Give us the teams. You know the teams?
Phillies. We got Dodgers, Mike Sharperson.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's a sharp pull.
Jody Reed,
Jody
the
Reed.
Red Sox.
Jody Reed on the Sox.
Jeff Juden,
Ooh.
Astros.
Juden.
Okay. Gary Mielke
Jerry Mielke.
from the Rangers.
Ooh. Okay.
Mielke. Dave Lapierre from the Padres.
Okay. Pot Squad.
We got like an alt Nolan Ryan from the Angels.
Oh.
That could be
okay.
search Topps alt art Nolan Ryan #3.
Nolan Ryan.
Mike Davis from the Dodgers. We have Joe Arcelak from the Orioles.
Okay.
Jeff Brantley from the Giants. Gene Nelson from the Athletics. Scott Scrutter from the Reds.
Is it the error card? Let me see it.
Don't bend it. Frank White from the Royals.
Yo.
What?
Think we might have something
No.
here.
Joe Hesketh from the Expos and Jamie Moyer from the Rangers. How much is it?
Yo.
What? How much is it?
We found something of value here. First one I pulled on Rare Topps 90s error card. Is this an error card?
An error card would be there's an error printed on it.
This potentially $150.
What?
If not, $12.
Oh, dude. This one on eBay is going for 20 grand.
Damn.
Hold on here. Wait. It's the same card.
This guy. Dude, if we found one for 12 grand.
Dude, it's the same card. It's a 1990.
Yep.
76 people viewed this in the past 24 hours.
How's it?
Ungraded near mint. Ours is mint because it is the same card, dude. Where's the error? That's my question.
That's what I'm looking for.
Because look.
Did we go through all the cards already?
Yeah.
Damn.
Here, look.
Flew through that.
This is the same card.
Okay. Yeah.
They
That's
have it on eBay for 20 grand.
Dude. We should sell ours for 20 grand.
I don't know if it's the way that it lays here because it's like wonky.
Is yours also kind of like slanted?
Yeah.
This one's also slanted.
Dude. Okay, well, that warrants more investigation. But yeah.
Yeah.
We may have just pulled something big.
I'm seeing another one. These are
How much are they
120, 125.
So at least $120.
All right. A win is a win.
A win is a win. Drink to that, Elliot.
I finished mine.
Oh, okay. So Taps and Takes every single Friday, 8 a.m.
Yes.
Make sure you tune in. Hear all that nerd news.
Hear all that.
Hear all that nerd news.
All that.
Hear all that sports news. And remember, St. Patrick's Day, which of day of recording is 20 days, 5 hours, 46 minutes away.
Is that right? I never know.
I think so.
All right.
I
we'll
mean,
say
the
it is.
clock is literally for a countdown
Well,
to
in
St.
worst
Patty's
case,
Day.
we air on a Friday, so it's fine.
And we're going to be out here. We're going to be doing our thing. It's on a Monday, but we will be here 10 to noon-ish on St. Patty's Day. We want you to come on out, hang out with the Do-Over crew. Me, Elliot, Eddie, Jess, Colleen, Orky. We're all going to be out here. Come and hang out with us, and we love you so much. Remember other big things. Dungeons and Do-Overs. That's happening tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow. So make sure you tune into that.
Do you
check
want to
it
see
out.
Sloppy Joe slay his foes?
Yeah. Or Serafina using her big half-human, half-tiefling boobs to get out of trouble. Or maybe just cutting dongers off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a thing.
And Orc's going to be punching people in the ween.
In the ween. A lot of body horror ween pain, ween damage.
You guys are weirdos. You guys are perverts.
Anyways, it's
You're a
going to
bunch
be
of perverts.
awesome. And we got Animania coming up.
We do.
which
Animania, brother.
there's a lot of stuff going on. So thank you to everyone who listens. We appreciate and love you so much. Thank you for supporting the Do Over podcast. Another episode. We are ditching the numbers.
Get rid of them.
We're getting rid of the numbers. The next episode of the
need 'em.
Do Over podcast is going to be Wednesday at 8 a.m. Thank you so much. And until next week,
Subscribe.
gotta go. Love you. Bye. Subscribe. We need you to subscribe.